let's talk a little bit about what your shows are about, so people have some of a better sense of what you actually submitted. So if you guys want to give just a brief synopsis, maybe, David, do you want to?
Sure. So it's an indie rock musical, and it's set in this fictitious Midwestern town called Mortland, where all crimes, including any sort of premarital sex or drug use, are all capital offenses. So there's a death house and a town executioner who's teaching his son the death trade, which has been handed down for generations. And into this town comes a tattooed sideshow freak and his daughter, who sort of disturb the peace, and the freak's daughter falls in love with the executioner's son, and the kids sort of hook up and get caught in the laws, and then sentenced to death because they break the laws, and then the question becomes, will the father execute his own son to uphold the laws of this town? But it does have some comedy in it. A little dark. So that's it in a nutshell. And my application process was a little bit more truncated. I applied, I guess, in January or whenever the application was. I'd already been through 2 workshops of it up at the Stratford Festival of Canada. So I'd sort of been working on it since 2006. And it was already 3 or 4 drafts in, so kind of further along, and I'd written most of the music. So that was, the NYMF side of things was pretty quick for me.
Do you want to talk about, because you said you had, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't give a synopsis yet.
A synopsis?
Yes.
Well, mine's a project in development, so the story could change any day. We only just had our first day of rehearsal. But basically it's about, it takes place in the early 80s in the post-punk scene, and it's about this rich girl who can't get accepted into the post-punk scene because she's from privilege. And even though she comes from a sort of completely fucked up, oh, fuck is alright? Yeah. But even though she comes from it is, right?
Yeah, we have
college.
everything over here.
College, how old are you? We're all 18 and over, right? Even though she comes from, a fucked up background, because she isn't poor, people won't accept her. So she runs away to New York with this American hustler. She reinvents herself as this like slumdog with this like poverty story and all of this kind of thing. Everyone thinks she's really amazing. You know, her lyrics are so hard hitting, blah blah blah, and all of this kind of thing. And then things go crazy. She falls in love, with another classist person, and then everything sort of spirals out of control. And of course, eventually she gets exposed. And, suddenly everyone's like, actually, her lyrics really weren't that great. And it's pretty obvious she was rich and all of that kind of
Do you guys want to describe your show?
Maybe Noah, do you want to give it a shot? Noah is our lovable protagonist. Do you want to talk at all about it?
Give a little.
Since you have to play, Noah plays the main guy, so maybe you might know something.
Yeah, so I guess our story is about this. It takes place in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and sort of the backdrop, all these hipsters, people that I personally am about. And my character, luckily, is the one guy who isn't one of those people, and falls in love with this girl, and to try to get her, based on the advice from his really cool lead singer of a rock band best friend, Jake, I start acting like a total douche. Can we say douche?
This is New York. We can say
yeah. I won't say bag after, because then it gets real. That's right. So I start acting like a total douche, thinking that's the way to get this girl, which of course just messes everything up more. And we all realize that if we can just be ourselves, we can probably get who we want and be a lot happier. And I think, that's sort of like a common thing that we've heard before. But I think the fun part about the way that we tell the story is it has a little different slant on that story. And also the other characters go through their own realization of who they are. And I think that's sort of a different version than we've seen before with that tale of be true to yourself.